Hi, changebringer. Yes, you are a changebringer. When you change something inside because you take a decision, you change your world, the world, and the universe. Did you know that? So let's bring some changes today. Today it's about what impact has trauma on your body. Well, let me define trauma first. And if you know this, it will change your life. Yeah. And you will be motivated to do something about it. All right. First of all, define trauma. Trauma is a bundle of low frequencies. We call it unpleasant emotions. And throughout the years, I discovered 26 unpleasant emotions. And I really was focusing on it. Yeah, because I really wished to define them, discover them, to change my traumas. Yeah? Okay. So that was my motivation to grow as a person. And I knew trauma keeps you in a low frequency. And I needed to know why. And this is the answer. So if things happen to you for a long time or a short time, it doesn't matter. Yes. For example, you grow up with a very dominant destructive parent. That's a long time. Yeah. Or you experience a car accident. That's a short time. Okay. So, yeah. So it doesn't matter the time. It matters how big the field is. And that is you who determines that. So that means how many times or how intense you produced these unpleasant emotions or several unpleasant emotions. For example, in that period that you grow up with a very dominant parent, you feel worthless, rejected, disconnected, unsafe, vulnerable. You see how many? Yeah. And you feed them again and again and again and again and again and again. Yeah. Okay. So you have, you put all these frequencies that we call emotions, low frequencies, in your body. Yeah. Okay. For example, with a car accident, you make very intense emotions of losing, for example, losing your body or losing the loved ones in your car. Disbelief that it happened, disbelief, disconnects you from everything. So disconnecting, unsafe, vulnerable, shake, shake, baby, shake. Yeah. And what else? You don't trust the other people on the street. Yeah. So because this car accident didn't happen to you, it's not caused by you, but somebody else. So distrust and so on and so on. And because it's such an intense, I call it a Mars energy event, you made a lot of it. And of course, afterwards, you keep on repeating what happened and how did you feel, and you make these unpleasant emotions and you build them up even bigger. Yeah. And you put them in your system means inside of your body. And after all these years of research where emotions and how emotions work and where they are, every emotion has its own place and its own movement. It's amazing. Yeah. And the pleasant emotions go very fast. Boom! That's why a lot of people don't react to unpleasant emotions, because they're in and out. And unpleasant emotions, they're like zombies. Yeah, they're like low frequency, slow, heavy, dark. Yeah. And people who are not living a lot in the present time, they can feel them because they're so slow. And so they find their space and movement in your body, and you produce them. You produce them by your fantasy. And if you didn't know how to do, by your fears, and if you don't understand how that works, go to the video of, a life without fear. And then people say to me, they go to therapists and, to workshops to get rid of their trauma. And then they tell me, God, I know now why it happened, and I give it a space, a place in my life. And then my question is, where did you put it? In your basement? In your garage? I mean, cupboard in your kitchen? Where did you put it? You cannot take it, a low frequency, unpleasant emotion field, and mentally put it somewhere. Yeah. There's no place otherwise than in your system. Your low frequencies, so your unpleasant emotions and your pleasant emotions, they all live inside of this system, in your energy field and in your body. And the only thing you can do with emotions is feel them. If you feel them, the unpleasant emotions become less, smaller, and the pleasant emotions will accelerate. And how that happens, I will make a whole video about it, because that's a lot of information in one video. I know I give a lot of information, sometimes too much in one video. So I have to, calm down and make several videos about it. But anyway, trauma you cannot get rid of by the mental frequency level. Yeah, you can realize, like, because I had such a dominant parent, now I feel, I fed so many unpleasant emotions as a child, and that reflects in my life because, for example, I feel very vulnerable in the world, or I feel unsafe in the world, or I expect that people are going to dominate me because I have that memory. Yeah. Okay. And then you can think about it, you can write it down, you can, become conscious about it, the cause of the trauma, the cause of these unpleasant emotions. But the unpleasant emotions, you cannot mentally dissolve them. It is impossible. It's another frequency. You have the mental frequency and you have the frequency of the emotions, and that is accessed through the feeling. You need to learn to feel independent from the brain. So detached from the brain, you need to learn to feel. And if people say, whoa, 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 what do you mean with that? Okay. When I asked you to feel your right thumb, yeah, what do? You go to your right thumb with your eyes. Yeah. So you go with your brain out of your body in this, thumb. And then what you do? Oh, it's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. I call it constating. It's there. It's there. It's there. But it's not feel. Feeling you do from the belly. You start from the belly. You go through the body, through the arm, in the thumb. And for a lot of people, it's like, wow, that's a long way. Well, in the beginning, it's a long way. If you do that consciously, it's a long way. Did you know that children do that automatically? Children who didn't learn how to go into la la land and lose the here and now in school, mostly in school, you learn that. They do it automatically. It's a natural thing. I can not learn children. I don't need to learn children to do this. They do it already. I only have to make them conscious that they do it. That's all. Yeah. Grown-ups, that's something else. Grown-ups train themselves to leave the body, to leave the feeling, to go into the brain, so much to control everything with the brain, and you cannot control unpleasant and pleasant emotions with the brain. You cannot. Yeah. The one who is connected with the emotions is the feeling, and that's in the belly, in the gut. Yeah. So what do you do with trauma? You have to learn to feel the movement. Every trauma has a specific place in the body and outside the body. When the trauma field is very, very big, then it's even outside of the body. And that makes the aura field look like dark spaces, you know, dark place, stains in the aura field. An aura field should be swirling of colors, and then you see dark stains in it. Yeah. And if the dark stain becomes very big, then the body gets sick there. Why? Because the energy flow is too slow and the organs don't get enough energy, and they get filthy, and then bacteria can get in there, parasites can get in there, and it gets sick. Yeah. So we call it sick, yeah, but it is just, it's filthy because it's not streaming there. Yeah. If you have a pipe in your house that is getting blocked by filth, it's not, you know, and the water cannot go through it. It doesn't clean itself anymore. It'll be blocked, and afterwards the whole pipe will yeah, shut down, and you have a problem in your house. Your toilet doesn't flush through, or your sink doesn't flush through. You have a problem. And that's the same with the body. The body needs flow of energy, flow of colors. And unpleasant emotions is dark, slow frequency fields that block the emotion stream. And the thing with trauma is, once you have a big field of unpleasant emotions, or several, your thoughts and fantasy participate on them. If you're not aware of them, if you are living in la la land, then they will take over, you know, because it's the frequency you drag around you, and drag, you know, into your life, and you participate on it until you're conscious about it, and then you need to clean them up, and you can only clean them up. And I can tell you, I did everything until I learned to feel independent from my brain. Everything switched. Yeah, my life went up to the light, out of the darkness. And I tell you, I did a lot of workshops. I did a lot of investigations. I did a lot of personal sessions. I tried it all, and it didn't work. I ended up always in the same situations. Trauma triggers everywhere. Yeah. And I had serious trauma. And I cleaned them all up by feeling them, by getting interesting how, what is a trauma field? What does it exist out? And it's unpleasant emotions. That's all. And unpleasant emotions are just energy fields that have a specific movement. Yeah. For example, how can you define, yeah, the difference between distrust and disbelief? They're both in the heart chakra. They're both here in the chest, both of them. Their location is in the chest. And one moves like this and one moves like that. I'm not going to tell you, because otherwise you're mentally going to look for them and you will never get in connection with them. And I take away your experience. And that's why you're here, to experience things. So I'm not going to take that away from you. But it's so interesting that you can define by the movement. And you can say, yes, this is the feeling of distrust, and this is the feeling of disbelief. And it moves like this, and it moves like this. That's why I can define it and feel the difference. Yes, amazing. Yeah. So learn to feel independent from the brain, and I cannot teach you that online. That's something I need to see you and or online one by one, because I need to see how your brain works, because the ego is vicious and make you think that you're feeling. And I can see how your brain is functioning, how your energy field lights up. So which part of your brain you're using, and if you also use your gut, yeah, that lights up then too. I can see that, and then I know you're feeling or you're constating. Remember constating? It's there, it's there, it's there, it's there. And then you're analyzing, reasoning, visualizing, make story about it, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? Fear, fantasy, and you're not feeling. Because if you feel your thumb inside, you feel the energy flow. You feel what's in there. Yeah? You feel what's in there. You feel how it feels inside. And that is not the capacity of the brain. The brain cannot feel. It cannot. It's not, God didn't make the brain to feel. The brain can do a lot of beautiful other things, but cannot feel. And we learn in school to do everything with the brain, including feeling. And children don't do that. Children below 6, 7, it depends how intense they already train themselves in words and numbers and the things you learn in school, especially your left part of your brain. And then they lose the here and now, and they go to la la land, and they lose the three-dimensional awareness of the body. Yeah. And if you lose that, your mental energy takes over, and you start to solve everything with the brain. And then you try to feel with the brain. And that's when you lose contact with your body, with your emotions, and you try to define it, analyze it, categorize it, and you cannot. Emotions are energy frequencies, and you can only access them by the feeling, independent from the brain. So that means the brain should not interfere. The only thing you ask from the brain at that moment is focus. That's all. Yeah. And so, yeah, I teach this to many, 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 many people. And it's fun to do it live, because then the whole shift and you can interact. It's very fun. So realize that if you're still feeling, and a lot of women still feel because they had children and a baby can't tell what's going on. I'm hungry, I need to sleep, or whatever. So a lot of women still have the feeling, access to the feeling. And then observe yourself. Where do you start from when you feel something? When you wish to feel something in your body, where do you start? You start from the brain. Brain can't feel. Yeah. So start observing yourself, and then realize that trauma needs to be solved. The more trauma you carry with your body and in your energy field, your system, the weaker your body gets, the quicker your body will get sick, because the condition of your body is determined by your energy field, not the way around. Yeah. So if your energy field is healthy and clean and flowing, then your body is healthy and happy. Yeah, not the way around. People start working at their bodies, and then they think they're going to be healthier. No, 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 no. It's your energy field that needs to flow and be connected with heaven and earth, and a lot of light and colors in there. And how can you do that? How can you do that? First of all, stop producing fears. And I please go back to the video. I explain what fears are and how you produce them. And then make decisions. Make decisions. What do you want to put your energy in? Yeah. And so on and so on. So, oh, somebody at my door. So I have to let you go, guys. And see you in the next video.